Okay, this is the saddler venison, or the you could do it into chops as well, but I'm not going to bother. So I'm just going to completely bone it out. Right, so in here, this is the fillet steak equivalent of venison. It's a muscle that doesn't do very much at all, so it's really, really tender. Try and get the pair together. I'm glad I didn't do this in the summer, because the flies would have driven me absolutely mental. Yeah, so that's your fillets there. Let's take the fat off. That's one fillet. That's two fillets, so I'll put it back in my box. So on the top you've got a ridge bone running right down there. So that is one boneless muscle right the way through. This gristle on here, we don't want this. So you just come up underneath it. And the knife won't really cut through it, so we'll just skim off it to keep the knife nice and tight to it. Turn it round so then I'll cut towards myself. More there. Right, so that's that all trimmed up. Now you can either feather it, we'll cut it right the way down the middle and open it out, or cut it into steaks all the way through, pretty much down to whoever's cooking it, and what you're using it for. So that can go in the tub, keep the flies off it. I'll whip this other one off. So the annoying thing about bushcrafting is sharpener is always rubbish. Another fairly important thing to do with game prep is don't do it in your main camp, especially if you're going to be leaving guts and fur and bones laying around. You want to do it as far from your camp as possible, because that's going to attract flies, foxes, badgers, anything that's in the woods. Obviously, depending on what country you're in, you could attract a bear. So really, you know, you want to be a good distance from your camp. just to stay away from all the nasties and the smells, especially if it's after a couple of days. There is more meat on that, because I've missed it. That's not very good. So for the casserole pot, so there's that. Some nice bits. Right, so then we will take that gristly layer off again. There as well. Done that, we just want the nicer stuff. Yep, happy with that. Right, the next bit is the shoulders and the neck. So that's his front leg there. We come along the side of the rib cage until we hit the neck fillet, which this would be a shoulder of lamb. On the lamb, obviously. Right, shoulder of venison there. Follow the seam round. Right. Okay, so we'll follow the neck fillets round the same way as we did with the saddle. So come inside there. And all this black area here, which is where it was bled, well, pretty much rule of thumb, blood contains bacteria. So all those bits we don't want. We want to trim them off. And it's not so much food poisoning, because anything nasty is going to be killed in as long as we cook it properly. And anyone who says I like really rare meat, if you're cooking it too rare when you're out camping, and you do give yourself an upset stomach, yeah, good luck with that. I'd much rather cook it properly. You know, I'm the first one to have a rare steak at home, but outdoors it's a different kettle of fish. Completely different rules. Right, now there's a piece of elastin here, or paddy whack, which is to support the neck, which is actually elastic, which is called elastin really. But usually when you get the paddy whack dog chews, that'll be that same piece out of a cow. Start making the very dark red stuff. Right, now see there's more meat on there, but I'm not going to bother with it, just because it could possibly be contaminated. With more, it's more the food spoilage bacteria that are going to make it taste horrible. And if it tastes funny, it's going to put you off the whole lot. You're just not going to trust it. So anything that could possibly be a threat, we're getting rid of. Right, that's the two neck fillets. Right. Right. We'll lose all of this sticking where it's been bled out. Don't want any of that. There's a bit of a bruise there. Could have been from wherever he was shot actually. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay, so you've got a scapular muscle there and then a bone coming across here. So that's the shoulder blade, scapula, coming along the top of it. And we come in there, in there. Because this shoulder, this is going to be a bit tougher, so this is probably what we're going to stick in the stew pot and leave it to cook for a few hours. Whereas the neck fillets and the saddle fillets, we can sort of cook them and have them, you know, pretty much straight away as soon as we get the fire started. So we'll get a little pile of meat there. It's all rubbish. Right, so we've got a bone coming down here and across here. See a ball joint where your shoulder blade's connected. Round the elbow of it. Right, so that's a boneless shoulder there. I've just got some more blood and bruise to take out. Okay, I'm happy with that. Goes there, and then we'll do the same on the next one. This is the hip bone or the pelvis, or the H-bone. Taking out the legs, so we'll go around that joint there. Ball and socket joint. That's the leg there. Now this part here, across here, would be your chump chops in. So we'll keep hold of that part. That's going to be yummy. Crap off of there. So we'll keep that bit. That'll be like same as rump steak. In the same place. Come across there. Across there. So those two, we'll put them in the box. Okay. Right. So now we're going to bone out our legs. We've got a bone coming down there and then back across there. Now, if you're just going to do this in the oven, you would cook it like a leg of lamb. But this, if we cut straight round here. This isn't a hard and fast thing, it's just more of a presentation thing. As you cook stuff, the meat shrinks back off the bone, so the bone ends up sticking out. if you get a knife and you scrape the skin off the bone, you can do this with the leg of lamb at home as well. Works exactly the same way. So when you cook that bone will stay white and it won't go all black and it won't look horrible. So that's called Frenching the bone. Yeah, so if you're doing it with a leg of lamb, once it's cooked, you have a nice white bone sticking out and it won't be all black and horrible. There you go. You can have that one for free. Right, so we'll come in down the side of the leg, the bone there, down to the kneecap. Come back in here. And come back up under the bone. And hold the bone and sort of steer around as you cut around it. And come down to the knee joint there. Battery. Yeah. That's right, that one's still going. Well, have you got a spare battery for that? Or you got to charge it? There's lovely. Right, back again after changing the battery. And then there's a little kneecap in there, which is there. Okay, and we separate this up, just follow the seams. Nasty greasy bits off. Don't want any of that. Don't look at that either. Just basically go rip through it, following the seams. Then any nasties inside all the veins and stuff, you don't have to include them in your whatever you're cooking. And bits of gristle like that, and just whip them out like we did before. That's like the shin part, and you can tell that's one for the stew pot, that pile there, whereas these can probably be opened out and cooked sort of fairly slowly or smoked. Actually yeah, that's what we're going to do. We'll smoke them. Right, so we tear down the bone there, round there, come in there. So another one I've been asked actually, talking about being free range and being shot. When you shoot an animal, 1 minute it's eating grass and next minute it's dead. So they don't actually suffer from stress, and unless they're very badly shot and the hunter hasn't got a clue what he's doing, which is a whole different story. But anyway, but with stress, it does actually affect the meat quite a lot. With cattle, deer would be the same, and so would sheep. They get long-term stress, so they'll get upset over a long period of time. And basically what that does is all sugar. When an animal dies, the sugar in the muscles turns to lactic acid. So when an animal is stressed over a long period of time, where it's been wanting to run away and escape, where it's been stuck in a pen, it's going to burn up all its sugar. So when you come to kill it, in a slaughterhouse sort of situation, it's burnt up all its sugar, so there's no sugar. So when glycolysis happens after it's dispatched, which is changed from sugar into lactic acid, there's no sugar, so there's no lactic acid. No lactic acid, the meat won't be very acid, which means it'll spoil a lot quicker. And also because their muscles are all tense, it's not going to bleed properly. So it's going to be very dark. You occasionally see it in the supermarkets. I've seen it a few times where a piece of meat looks really, really sort of dark browny red. And we're not talking like a burgundy red, because that's what you want on meat. But it's a real sort of dark chocolate look. And that's a cow that's had DFD, dark, firm and dry, and that is caused by stress. Whereas pigs, they get different sort of stress. Whereas pigs get wound up very quickly. They pump all the sugar into their muscles. So when you kill them, there's actually too much sugar in their muscles. So then, when it comes from dying, there's too much acid in their muscles, so it actually mutates all the, bursts all the cells in the muscle, so it'll just be dripping with water, and they call that PSE, which is pale, soft and exudative, and that will, it's just horrible. It's just complete, the meat will be really white, really pale, and lots of water dripping out of it. It's not blood, it's red muscle protein. Like all this, there's no blood here at all. There's probably a little bit on that neck, but that's it. It's already been bled. It's a bit of a misconception, but when you buy a steak and there's blood in the bottom of the packet, it's not blood. It's myoglobin. Quite good to go on the smoker. Right. We're done.